Stuart, they say there's more than one way to win a football game. It was effort and endeavour today in a 1-0 victory over St Mirren.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, we like with the 3 points, but we know we will have to be a lot better and can be a lot better. We lack quality today. I think there's no doubt about that. And you know, I can make excuses now because we've won. I certainly wouldn't have done it if we'd have got beat. We've had a difficult 10 days. Well, I was actually saying since we got knocked out in Europe with the players that we've had to be able to train. 3 of them, Zane, Fraser, and Reedy, were all doubts right up to the kick-off, and I'm surprised that all 3 of them managed to make it through the game. Obviously Mick's had a couple of little personal thing to deal with as well, which has not been easy for himself. So all in all, with that, to get the 3 points was very good. But we lack quality. We've not replaced as yet the players we've lost last season, and we obviously want to do that. But today we're also missing Vigers, Lawson, Ramsden, and Hamill, who are all, you know, good on the ball, and you know, as I say, we just lacked a little bit today in that regard. But as much as, you know, I think St Mirren certainly started well the first 2 or 3 minutes. It put us under pressure. They've got good players. You know, there's not a lot between us. But I thought then Josh Law had a really good chance. You know, don't catch it well. Kazi's had a decent chance, and for all their possession they had, it was fairly even on chances wise first half. Second half straight away, Wild goes through and Dan makes. That's a crucial save of the game. So I don't think it was a game where we were backs to the wall and under massive pressure. We were. They had opportunities at times. I thought we could have done better when we did break with it. But overall, from what we've been through, you know, since the European game, and you know, lack of people training, lack of organisation, be able to, you know, organise for today's game. Delighted with the result. Performance, we need to be much better. I know that.
Would you have sacrificed performance, obviously, before this game, given those circumstances?
Said to the boys yesterday, and I said it today before the game and at half time, it's about finding a way to win today. Obviously we want to be better on the ball. I thought at times Lawsy and Lee Irwin, you know, can give us a spark. We had, you know, too many people under par today. They know that themselves. You know, it's a long season. But when you do that, you know, and you have got players under par and you've got players missing, it's about toughing it out and just keep going. And you know, we managed to do that today. You
mentioned the boys are injured. 1-0 up at the time. Were you worried that we're going to run out of gas, because it looked as if so many guys were holding on, running on empty, if you were?
Yeah, and I looked at the bench, and you know, a couple of them lads have, you know, been, you know, obviously Lawson's been struggling with injury. Adam Cummins had not a lot of football. The other boys are young boys. So yeah, it was tough, but we got the goal at the right time, and obviously we're fortunate with the sending off. Sometimes when you go down to 10 men, it can work against you, and I think certainly with their pace in the team, that's something we need to try to get in, as we have done over the last few seasons. You know, everyone knows that we're looking for, you know, a striker that can stretch teams, even to come off the bench and do that. But I thought with their, you know, the ex-Hib boy who came on for them, Caldwell. Obviously, Wiles got pace. McGinn can break from middle of the park. The boy Marwood, who, you know, they brought him from non-leagues quick. So I thought Fraser Kerr was important for us today to play alongside Mick. You know, Fraser might not be the greatest on the eye in possession of the ball, but he's got good pace, and he, you know, at times we needed him there for, you know, to match up with their pace.
You mentioned the bench. You know, some people might have thought we need a sub here, Stuart. The guys are toiling. But is it danger when in a game like that, it's so tight, a young player coming on there, it's so difficult to get up to the pace of the game?
I think I was going to be a bit blasé in this, and not knowing that I've been a sub many times in my career, but it is. It can be difficult to come into a game on 70 minutes. Don't get me wrong, if people are toiling and absolutely struggling, you know, fitness-wise. But I look and, you know, left back, we haven't got a ready-made given red back. Young David Ferguson, you know, all those played there for 20. He's not a left back. Leach is certainly not a left back. So when you see Zane, come on, you've just got to get going. Fraser was struggling at his back with an early point, and you put Adam Cummins on, and you know, obviously he's not got the pace that Fraser's got, although he's got, you know, different attributes. So that's a hard one for him to come in and get to the pace of the game. There was a stage where we were going to throw Bob on, but it probably wasn't in a position that had suited him. And then, you know, the other ones are young lads as well. So it was difficult in that, but you know, it can be difficult coming on with 15, 20 minutes to go and getting into a game. There's no doubt about that.
You mentioned one young player by name. We'll talk about him a bit more. Lee Irwin. He scored the winning goal. It's his first domestic start, if you like, in his Motherwell career. But you know, I thought he'd done the chances. No harm for going future.
Listen, he knows, and I'm sure his parents will keep his feet on the ground. He's had a tough couple of seasons with long-term injuries, 2 bad injuries. He's always been in his thoughts. We've always thought, hence he got a 3-4 year deal a few years ago, whatever it was. We always thought he's got potential to do well. He's got certain ability. He's come in this season, obviously seen likes of Henry go and Faddy go and think there's a spot for him there. He's shown great ability in training, good desire. And I just felt he merited his starting place today. And I thought his all-round game was very, very good, and delighted that he obviously... And it was a difficult chance. Lionel's hit a good shot, the keeper's parried it, and it's, as he's following it in, he's had to keep it down, and so really pleased for him. It's a beginning, hopefully, of something special for him at the club. I mean, keep his feet on the ground, a lot of hard work, which he's been producing of late. But there's no doubt he's got the ability and potential to go on and be a good player for us.
Two big talking points of the game I'll ask you about. The first one is the penalty. St Mirren were claiming for a penalty kick against Keith Lasley. The second one, Jim Goodwin's red card. There was a bit of confusion, I think, on the ground as to what I said. Kind of your views on that, please.
Yeah, I think the ball was bobbing around for the claim. I mean, I've got to say their bench certainly would claim, which you do when you get to the end of the games. And when I saw it come up against Laz, but I think when I've seen it again, it's rolled up his body, and it looks as because he's pulled his arm out of the way. But I think it's it's not a penalty kick. I think he was trying to. I don't know, Laz has got a history of penalties at the moment, but no, I don't think it was a penalty, and thankfully the referee called that one right. And the Goodwin, I just don't know what happened. I didn't know what happened at the time, having spoke to the referee at the end of the game. I think it's his far-stand linesman who saw something. I didn't see it, so I'm not going to comment on it. I thought it was something Jim must have said, but it wasn't. It was certainly for a violent act, apparently.
Okay. The games are coming thick and fast. You remember we mentioned the team's been patched up, if you like. Guys run on empty. No rest for the wicked. Dundee United away on Wednesday night. The guys will have to be patched up again, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll certainly won't have, like Hamill. Vigers is still struggling with the knock. He got in training. Obviously, he was suspended today. I think it might be too early for Ramsden. Lawson needs games, so maybe none of them will be back. But again, I think 7 out of 8 out of the starting lineup today were had ice on. A lot of it's precautionary, but there's 2 or 3 that will be struggling. We'll just have to monitor it over the next 24 hours. But what we have to do, we have to be better up there than we have of late. We've had some couple of disappointing performances. Having said that, we've had some really good performances up there. It was actually a lucky ground for us for a wee while, but the last couple of performances hasn't been what we need. They're a strong side, even though they've lost a couple of players. I think they brought in well. I know some of the players that they brought in as well, and I think they'll probably be stronger this year. So it's a tough place to go. Obviously they play Aberdeen tomorrow, and we'll have a look at that. But we'll go up there, and as I say, we need to be better than we were today. We weren't at its best, but we got the 3 points. So
all in all, you mentioned those things. Another good start to the season. I think it's the 4th season in a row you've managed to be unbeaten, not lose a goal in that point. I think as well. Hopefully that can give you. You'll be hoping you can give you the kick on for the early Palace.
Yeah, it's quite incredible just looking back there. I think we've beat Inverness 3-0 here, and obviously today went to Ross County 0-0 and beat Hearts, Hibs, should I say, last season 1-0. 4 clean sheets, so that's. We need to have more clean sheets this season. We need to be better defensively. We can't afford to concede as many goals as we did. We still want to play, attacking football, and I think 2 or 3 of the lads can play a lot better than they did today. There's no doubt about that, and we'd like to, freshen up the squad at least with 1 or 2 new faces and get the injured boys back, and we will be better for that. But yeah, all in all, job done today. The fact that it was 3 points after a really difficult week, and we move on now up to Tannadice.
Thanks, Stuart.